Hey, everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your Monday? Hope you had a great weekend. Thanks to both of you who joined us for our members-only watch party of DOA yesterday. Today, though, I'm going to tell you about vomit. Like, share, subscribe, notification bell, all that stuff. All of you people prepping for DabbleCon 2, all of that stuff that's going on. Give us a little like, a little share, a little subscribe. I see that Aku and Doc Torn and Joker do not have gifted memberships. Maybe they can turn theirs on, and some kind soul will gift them some membership. We are monetized. We do like to make $10 a show. I don't know why, but we do. Somebody in accounting told us that. Manzanita, whoops. Even if you spill some in the rim, you don't want to get it, lose any of it. I wish that was the first time I've said that in my life. Manzanita, that's some good stuff, man. Randy Ramos, the chef, is in the house. Karen Garvey says, turn on those gifted memberships. Turn them on. Aku says, I didn't. I was asleep for most of the weekend. Damn rabies shot. Damn rabies. Bead is broken. I'm sorry that your bead is broken. Okay, so SG Fanboy, who is incredible, has just gifted 5 Tom Gully Show memberships. So if Doc Torn and Joker and you guys have your gifted memberships on, he just did it for you. He just did it for you. And then look at that. Karen Garvey, the angel of the Tom Gully Show, just did it for you there too. Star Mountain got one. All right. See, I can't see any of that right now. I'm not in the YouTube chat. I'm in the StreamYard chat. I've got some SG Fanboy gold for you people, by the way, coming up here in just a few seconds. Aku Mugen says, why Toyota put a T10 on this sensor, I'll never know. Me either, Aku. Some friends of mine got together this weekend, and we spent about 45 minutes talking about that. Chicken Boy got one. I don't know who that is, but well done, Chicken Boy. Replacing a valve stem. Woke up this morning to a flat tire with a Y. Well, that's your problem. You got to get tires with an I instead of a Y, and then they'll work better. Okay, the living legend, Aku Mugen, has another friend in the room named SG Fanboy, who is the living legend. This stuff, should it be allowed to be this good? Should that be federally? Man, it's a really good flavor, not overpowering, and a finish, what they call a finish in the soda pop world. You know how like you get a Coke or a Pepsi and you drink it and that swallow just seems to, when you get that last gulp, it just seems to satisfy coolness and thirst and need for flavor, and that's what that's doing. It's the proper way to spell it. Well, I'm telling you, I spell mine the American way, and I don't have a valve stem issue. So, never have, as a matter of fact, ever had a valve stem issue, as long as I've been on the planet. Okay, here you go. Remember we did the show on roller derby, which frankly should have been more popular. And if you can't get viewers with the show on vomit, right now we only have 8. You really got to start rethinking your thing. You really do. The Master of Violence says, Mr. Gully. I don't know who that is, but it's a hilarious name. It's all about the aftertaste. That's right. That's right, Karen Garvey. It's all about the swallow. Aku says, I've also racked the wine and cider. Next batch of mead and Dr. Pepper wine. Ooh, you know what? I don't drink, and I certainly don't drink wine, but Dr. Pepper wine sounds good. It's like beer milkshake sounds good. I want to try it. Master of Violence in the house. Master of Violence was gifted a membership. So proud to have the Master of Violence as a member of the show's followers. No, not the Thing. Yes, the Thing. A Master of Violence. Good evening, sir. People saying hi. Most cheerful chat room on the internet as verified by independent storage. Oh, see, so we did the show on roller derby, which I love me some roller derby. And SG Fanboy. Oh, by the way, I should first point out, where the show's on vomit. I don't need to tell you what that is, do I? Yeah. And you know what? I had to hide. Well, the picture is only at a certain ratio. So below this, I had to cut off a Playtex living glove that apparently had been worn while collecting that. The gifted membership summoned me. That's funny. All right, so SG Fanboy likes to put my face on things, and I like it too, by the way. It's always a thrill. Seriously, I'm always interested to see what's there when SG sends me some. Check this out. There is the Tom Gully roller derby girl blowing kiss to the fans. There you go. And this one most of you will like better because it shows off some of my ink. There we go. Okay, and some of my cleavage. There we go. Hopefully you guys are enjoying those. So you cut off the hand. I did cut off the hand. Don't get too excited. I can also make wine from Monster. The real decision is if I use regular strawberry and cream, Dr. Pepper. Regular or strawberry and cream. Oh, I got to tell you, because my backup today, I'm not doing this thing where I put all the pressure on one beverage to get me through the show. I'm always going to have two. My backup is, of course, the zero sugar strawberries and cream, which is super good. But I feel like Manzanita Soul I could drink every day. But strawberries and cream, you got to put it in a mix. It would be too much all the time, I think. Tom, what would be your roller derby name? Didn't we decide it was Tom the Bomb? Any roller derby names? Yeah, throw in put some roller derby names in there. The doctor says, my name is not Pepper. Oh, wrong doctor. I'm not Lisa. My name is Julie. I bet you Karen Garvey's the only person in the room right now that knows what I'm talking about. I'm going to get my thing. Got to get my thing, man. Man, I got to get my thing. You know what I'm saying? Got to get my thing. Look at that. She's got like a tramp stamp on her clavicle, which I like, by the way. There's really nothing I don't like about that picture except my face. I could work with that. Karen Garvey is saluting. Yes. I'm not Lisa. My name is Julie. Lisa left you long ago. How was that a hit? I don't know. SG Fanboy again, thank you for your virtuosity and putting that face, Jesus God, on stuff, on things. And now, let's talk about vomit. Vomiting, also known as emesis or throwing up, is the involuntary, forceful expulsion of the contents of one's stomach through the mouth and sometimes through the nose. Vomiting can be the result of ailments like food poisoning, gastroenteritis, pregnancy, motion sickness, or hangover. It can be the effect of diseases such as brain tumors, elevated intracranial pressure, exposure to ionizing radiation. The feeling that one is about to vomit is called nausea. And for those of you who don't know what nausea is, it's that feeling you get when you watch Stuttering John's program. It often precedes but does not always lead to vomiting. Okay. Impairment due to alcohol or anesthesia can also cause inhalation of vomit. Severe occasion where dehydration develops, intravenous fluid may be required, blah, 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 blah. By the way, self-induced vomiting can be a component of an eating disorder called bulimia. It's now classified as an eating disorder all its own, and it's called purging disorder. Now, the photo that you see next to me is a 14th century illustration of vomiting from the Casa Tana. It's a building in, I believe, Spain. There are some complications from vomiting. Anybody ever done this one? This picture here is interesting to me because that is clearly a public vomit. That's an in-public vomit. That's because you can tell that dude is out for a stroll. He's at an amusement park. He's somewhere. That's not an I'm at home not feeling well vomit. Two ways that you can tell. One, attire, flip-flops, khaki pants and shorts. Also, vomiting directly onto the ground. This is something normally that people don't do in their home. Just saying. I am just saying. Oh, brother. So some of the complications from vomiting. And by the way, remember when you were a kid and like that first time you vomited and you thought you were dying and that feeling that, oh my God, something's happened to me. I can't control it. What's going on? That like you start to salivate too much and all that. And so that the next time you vomited, you knew what was going to happen. And it was like complete terror. It's like, I'm going to go through all that again. And then you got to college and that one night you drank too much and you wanted to vomit. You were like, oh God, if I could just, that's when you became a vomit pro. And since then, because I don't drink, but if I have the flu or something else, bad food, that's going to make me vomit, I'm like, hey, become one with the vomit, accept the vomit, submit to the vomit, go with the vomit, don't stand in its way, be an active participant, get it over with. You'll feel 100 times better afterwards. Oh, my Lord. Vomiting is dangerous if gastric content enters the respiratory tract. Under normal circumstances, the gag reflex, hey ladies, and coughing prevent this from occurring. However, these protective reflexes are compromised in persons who are under the influence of certain substances, including alcohol, or even mildly anesthetized. The individual may choke and asphyxiate or develop aspiration pneumonia. Aspiration pneumonia, that's a term for when a large amount of stomach or food from your mouth enters your lungs and causes pneumonia because of that foreign matter in your lungs. Dehydration can cause vomiting. Prolonged and excessive vomiting depletes the body of water, and dehydration I'm sorry, vomiting causes dehydration. Sorry. Repeated and profuse vomiting is known as the Mallory-Weiss, 2 words, Mallory-Weiss syndrome. And it causes erosions to the esophagus or small tears in the esophageal mucosa. This may become apparent if fresh red blood is mixed with vomit after several episodes. Your stomach contents have a lot of acid in them, so when you do that a lot, it eats at your inner lining. Recurrent vomiting, such as observed bulimia, may lead to the destruction of the tooth enamel due to the acidity of the vomit. Digestive enzymes can also have a negative effect on oral health by degrading the tissue of the gums. Hey, let's take another throwback here. This is an early wall carving or obelisk carving of a servant helping her master vomit. Because back then, if you had a lot of dough, you had people to help you vomit. I'm not going to get too deep into the pathophysiology of this because it's extremely technical. But let me just tell you a couple of things. Receptors on the 4th ventricle of the brain, so they know exactly where it is, represent a chemoreceptor trigger zone known as the area postremia, stimulation of which causes vomiting. So if they took a little probe and touched that area, you'd puke. The area of postremia is in I don't want to get into it. Basically, that particular area lies outside the blood-brain barrier, and it can therefore be stimulated by blood-borne drugs that can stimulate or inhibit vomiting. Let's see. Okay, so the same area that controls vomiting also controls motion sickness, and that would make sense. The cranial nerve, X, which is also known as the vagus nerve, is activated when the pharynx is irritated, leading to a gag reflex. So if you ever put your finger down your throat and gagged, that's what that is. And the medulla plays an important part in triggering the vomiting act, as does John's show. Let me see here. This is good stuff here. Okay, so this chemoreceptor trigger zone there, okay, can do 3 things. 3 things. They're motor nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, and the sympathetic nervous system. 2 parts of the nervous system. One's para, one's not. And then your motor skills. Okay, so what happens when you trigger that chemoreceptor zone? Increased salivation. Remember I was talking about that? To protect tooth enamel from stomach acids. Huh? Okay. That's part of the parasympathetic nervous system. The body takes a deep breath to avoid aspirating vomit. Aspirating just means you're choking on something. You have breathed in something that you're not supposed to, usually a liquid. Retroperistasis starts from the middle. You guys know what peristasis is, don't you? That's the body's autumnal act. It's an involuntary act of when you swallow something, your body is working that through your digestive system. You aren't aware of it because it's an autumnal system. It's an automatic system of your body. But that's happening. So retroperistolysis means let's go round again. Maybe we turn back the hands of time. It's going in reverse. So that starts from the middle of the small intestine and sweeps up the digestive tract, all these contents into the stomach. Okay? Yeah. Your abdominal pressure increases. And that abdominal pressure, that sudden increase, is what propels the stuff up your esophagus. The stomach does not contract during the process of vomiting, nor is there in the esophagus. Vomiting is ordinarily preceded by retching, which is the dry heaves. And it also results in sweating and an increased heart rate. Now, I know a lot of you probably feel like vomiting is an extremely complex and ornate process, but guess what? It's not. It only has two phases. And for those of you who might feel the need to vomit, there's a motion sickness bag from a fancy French airline. The two phases are, number one, the retching phase, where the abdominal muscles undergo a few rounds of coordinated concentrations. You know that, oh, God, it's going to happen. Oh, gee, here it comes. Oh, it's getting stronger. The diaphragm gets involved here. Oh, God, here it is. Can you hear it? I hate that person. I mean, I deeply hate them. I have a dozen dreamsicles and a dozen strawberry shortcake on a stick in there. Swear to God. It's 7:19 here in beautiful Dallas, Texas. I will run out there and give them away if he stops that damn thing in front of my... Okay, he's gone now. Sometimes he comes back. Turns around. So in the retching phase, nothing has been expelled. Okay. The next phase is normally called the expulsive phase. Okay. So intense pressure is formed in the stomach, brought about by enormous shifts in your diaphragm and your abdomen. So that's when you can feel your abdomen, all that, doing all that stuff that you're not making it do. So they're just vigorous contractions of these muscles that last much longer than the usual length of a muscular contraction. And then when that pressure keeps doing that, at some point, your body is going to release. By this one muscle will relax, and it will release all of those gastric contents. And when it does that, they've been being held back. That's when those convulsions and stuff, just like a flume ride right out. Technicolor yawn, Unswallow, feed the fish, blow chunks. That's one of my favorite ones. And that's what happens. Yeah. Vomit is highly acidic. And regardless of what you've eaten or how long it's been in you, vomit is always bad smelling. Always, 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 always. The content of vomit sometimes is of a medical interest. They can tell things from it. Bright red in the vomit suggests bleeding from the esophagus. Dark red vomit with liver-like clots suggests profuse bleeding in the stomach, like from a perforated ulcer. Coffee ground-like vomit suggests less severe bleeding in the stomach because the gastric acid has had time to change the composition of this blood. Yellow or green vomit. Hey, let's see a show of hands. Anyway, suggests bile, indicating that the pyloric valve is open and the bile is flowing into the stomach from the duodenum. And that may occur during successive episodes of vomiting after stomach contents have been completely expelled. That's why sometimes dry heaves and people who've already puked are throwing up bile. I'm sure in college one of us had that friend that puked all night and most of it was bile, and that's, yeah. There's a million causes of this. Gastritis, gastroenteritis, celiac disease, non-celiac, gluten sensitive. I mean, I could go through them all. Bowel obstruction, overeating, food poisoning, Meniere's disease, motion sickness, vertigo, concussion, cerebral hemorrhage. I mean, there's tons of alcohol. Now, emesis is the act of vomiting. An emetic, such as syrup of ipecac, is a substance that induces vomiting when administered orally or by injection. So if they ever want you to puke something up, they always give you syrup of ipecac. And there's two kinds of those. One acts on the medulla, your brain, to make you vomit. The other one acts directly on your stomach. Salt water and mustard water, which act directly on the stomach, have been used for centuries as emetics. Copper sulfate, they don't use that anymore. It's way too toxic. And hydrogen peroxide is used as an emetic in the veterinary practice. So sometimes after surgery, people vomit. Very disagreeable sights, smells, things you might see or happen to you that could make you unduly affected, could cause you to vomit. Extreme pain, especially heart attacks, could cause you to vomit. Yeah. High doses of ionizing radiation. I don't think that's going to happen to any of us. There's a thing here called social cues. It's quite common that when one person vomits, others nearby become nauseated, particularly when smelling the vomit of others, and often point, to that being the cause of them vomiting. It's a chain reaction of vomiting. I call that sympathetic vomiting. It's just me. Most people try to contain their vomit by vomiting into a sink, toilet, trash can, whatever's nearby, as vomit is difficult and unpleasant to clean. On airplanes and boats, special bags are supplied for 6 passengers to vomit into, like the one you see before you, next to me here. People who vomit chronically, for whatever reason, usually try to find a way to hide that. And last, but definitely not least, emetophilia. Emetophilia is sexual arousal from vomiting or watching others vomit. Emetophilia is a phobia that causes overwhelming, intense anxiety pertaining to vomiting. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is just about all I have to tell you about vomiting. Whoa, hey, I just pressed the wrong button. Boom, stop. Wanted to press that button. All right, let's see what we got here in the old comment bag. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. I think we're here. Okay. I'm all about vomiting. Oh, by the way, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. We got to get more people listening and watching this show. Jesus Christ. Can't be doing this show for 10 people every day. Good Lord. Like, share, subscribe, notification bell, all that. We are monetized. and turn on your gifted memberships. SG Fanboy and Karen Garvey were kind enough to donate some gifted memberships. I'm sure they're out there. All you got to do is turn yours on, and you're going to get one of them. Because God knows there ain't nobody here. Star Mountain says, I'm all about vomiting. I mean, not really, but hearing about it could be fun. Yes. SG Fanboy says, Tom Face fits everything. It's weird. I know. I'm like Zelig. You'd think SG invented AI with that talent. You really would. You really would. Oh, Star Mountain, you are so right. Kidney stones will make you want to heave. Beat me to it. Karen Garvey said the vomit doesn't hit his center. No, he's very skillful. Surgical, one might say. He's leaning forward. He's got that shoulder width apart stance. Please refrain from chatting in incomplete sentences. It really grinds Tom's gears. No, it's just when I don't know what's going on. It's a weakness of mine. Don't concern yourself with it. Bob was making attempts at his puddle chicken way back then. That's funny. All in between his toes, yeah. That's an outside Burger King vomit. That's an out. You know what that is? That's an outside the strip club vomit. That's what that is. Star Mountain. Hey, I'm just filling in the blanks. Sometimes you have to around here, Star Mountain. And Karen Garvey says, wait, what? You went from the first time you vomited to college? Was Wolf your bad influence? No, I mean, I vomited many times before college. It's just, it was in college when the vomiting was related to drinking. And you had that bad stomach feeling, and you knew you were going to get sick anyway because you drank so much and, you know, anything in a cup. And you probably had 15 slices of pizza before the night began. I didn't need Wolf for bad influence. You know. I don't think Wolf was a bad influence, to be honest with you. I mean, we all did our share of drinking, but he never forced it on anybody or required. Now, I did get in lots of adventures with Wolf. That is for sure. That's probably more of a bad influence. Vomiting from food poisoning is the worst. Oh, God, isn't it, Doc Dorn? I remember one time I was coaching soccer. It was brutally hot this one day. And I had been taking some medication for something. I forget what it was. And the doctor gave me some new medication. And that day was the first day that I took the new medication. So I think it was 2 pills. I took them. And then I went to soccer practice. And I'm at soccer practice coaching these kids. And I'm running around and it's 100 degrees out, whatever. And all of a sudden, I'm feeling like I'm going to hurl. Like out of nowhere. And I start to retch. And one of the kids I was coaching, this high school kids, he goes, don't do it. Don't do it. Because he could hear it and see it. I ran over to this, there's like 55-gallon drums for trash at the various parks and athletic fields, and just puked. And it was all water. There was nothing there. I somehow get through practice. I get in my car and start back, and I'm feeling like if I just move a little, I'm going to throw up. I'm driving home. I'm just sitting there. My window's down. I get like 3 blocks from my house to a 4-way stop. When the vomit comes upon you, it doesn't care that you're 3 blocks away from the safety and comfort of vomiting in your own home. It taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, let's party. I opened my car door, leaned out the car and just, and it was that yellow. It was just bile, nothing but bile. At which point I hear a whoop whoop behind me. There's a cop. He comes out, you okay? And I went, man, I just, and I told him my whole story. I said, to be honest with you, just talking to you makes me feel like I'm really easy. Where do you live? I said, I live over there, just off of Martin. Well, get on home. Like, thanks for stopping me. I got home and I don't know. I had this apartment that was part of a. You ever had an apartment that's like an old giant mansion that's been chopped up into smaller apartments? I had one of those. And to get to mine, you had to walk up this super steep staircase. Anyway, I laid down on the couch and didn't move for like 12 hours. Not even go to the bathroom. I mean, I didn't go to the bathroom. I just laid there because I felt like if I just turned my head, I was going to heave everywhere. It's awful. Bon Scott and Jimi Hendrix vomited to death. I know. Didn't Janis Joplin as well? The doctor, and I feel your pain, been there. I thought I was going to do that. Food poisoning stuff, it's the same thing. It's your whole body. It's your equilibrium. It's everything. Doctor, and lesson learned, don't eat anything Alfredo-based in South Jersey seedy Italian restaurants. You got that right. Roger that. Akuse, never been a pucker. Always knew how to have a stomach of steel. All right, man. Doctor in Stour Mountain. Haven't experienced much food poisoning, but have had family and friends experience. I hope I ever do. So much vomiting. Oh, yeah, doopadoo. It's, yeah. 'Tis you, I barely know you. Crash. Dupe, I ain't gonna lie, it's not pretty. My second round with it, so I wanted to die. Yeah, it's nothing. There's nothing worse. And sometimes you get the food poisoning is that you just, crap yourself to death or throw up all over the place. And it's over pretty quick. I mean, it's intense and it's right through you, but it's not particularly painful or a duress upon you. But sometimes, you ever get that food poisoning that just feels like you've been punched in the gut by Mike Tyson? Like you're sitting there just, oh my God, what's happening to me? Yeah, I've had that. I had it recently. It sucks. Star Mountain says there are levels of extreme. I've had mild food poisoning once or twice, but did have serious food poisoning where I thought I was dying. Had a girl visit from out of state. Awful. Yeah, you do think you're dying. That's the worst. That's what awful food poisoning looked like. I thought they might die. Glad you're still with us. Star Mountain says, Tom, why do I want to puke when I clean my ears with Q-tips? The farther they go in the ear, the harder I need to puke. What's up with that? It's the same thing as your gag reflex, I would assume. Maybe it's connected to your vagus nerve somehow. I don't know. Anyone in chat have emetophobia? Karen Garvey, a very good question. I'd be scared if anybody here had emetophilia. That's thanks. I'm glad I made to feel of vomiting. Fear. There's a fear of vomiting. Yes. Tom doesn't like the ice cream guy because he never has Tom's favorite. I wouldn't know if he has my favorite. The prices are ridiculous. What that guy wants for one crappy ice cream sandwich, you can buy a dozen super good ones for at the store. And there's a store 3 or 4 blocks from here, a big grocery store. Dupa, I'd rather not feel it or fear it. Apologies. Also, earlier in the morning, I have to wake up, the more nauseous I feel, and vomit while brushing my teeth. I've overdone it a little with the toothbrush and gotten the gag reflex before, but I just know my dog wants to eat it. Well, that's their track record. Vomit is a verb. Vomitus is a noun. I think vomit is also a noun. I have to fight her out of the bathroom. Toothpaste flavors can make you vomit. They can. More of a gag reflex. I'd last 20 seconds in prison. You'd have a different kind of gag reflex. Non-needed, Dupa. It's all good, my friend. Let's see here. There should be way more than 12 people. I hear you. Oh boy, Karen Garvey bringing one back from yesterday's pretty exclusive members only. What do we have? Was Julian Zeezer in for a while? We had Karen Garvey and then Jenny G. Did she join us? I know there was 2 chicks and a guy and me. And that was it. Bit the crank. But it is a shame that luminous toxin can't make you vomit. Well, I didn't see him vomit, so maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just kills you. But no vomiting. Oh, but Chester kept hitting him, and he doesn't like it in the belly. That's what we've all been saying, but Tom disagrees. What? What, that there should be more than 12 people here? Ew. Don't know what that was referring to. My husband and I can't wrap our heads around the views on this channel. Me neither. Well, we were kicking ass there for a while, and then they changed the time, and Jesus Christ. I think I'm going to hold off on dinner for a while. It's probably wise. And now you know the rest of the story. Hugh says, I was getting a metallic taste in the back of my mouth even before the convulsions start. Hugh, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That metallic taste, that salivating, the copper taste of death. Karen Garvey says, I was joking about Wolf. Well, no, it's a valid question. It's a valid question. Old valve is out with sensor intact. New stem is in. Now it's just time to see if the new one's going to hold. Don't make me. Just don't make me. All right. Oops-a-daisy. Oh, boy. I think tomorrow I will be using this. Whoops. What do we got here? Jesus Christ. My headlight restoration kit to get some of the oxidation off my headlights. And I'm going to talk about it the whole show. There. Terry Nee asks, ever hear of the group Luke Puke and the Vomits? Song Hinkley Missed and I'm Pissed. Ever heard of the group? I hate to point out to them that Hinkley did not miss, but Huzzah-ku. Star Mountain, I hear you, Doobadoo. John Bonham vomited to death, supposedly. Did he? Tierney, what did I learn tonight? There's a band called Luke Puke and the Vomit. Would that be your roller derby name? I would say his would be Terry Knee to the Groin. There you go. How about that? Thank you. Thank you. Julian Z said, that's not your ear. Dupa, deep VA group ended badly. I don't know what the deep VA group is, so thanks for disgorging all these vomiting facts. Yes, I cast them up. I used to have a poster with every slang term for vomiting that there is on it. cast up one's accounts, shoot the cat, feed the fish. Anyway, there's a lot of them. The Wolf says, what a great subject, blowing chunks. Yes, that's what we used to refer to it at Ball State, was blowing chunks. Wolf, it is hard to munch along with tonight's topic, says Angry Snowballs. I almost yacked up my snack sack of spiders. People saying, hi, the most cheerful chat room on the internet, as verified by independent sources. Love that illustration, matches the shirt color of the vomit. It's close. It's close. Karen Garvey says she was just kidding. We know you were kidding. Breast implants? Those won't make me vomit. I asked you if you were a bad influence. So, yes, Karen thought that the Wolf may have been a bad influence on me in college. I have one of those buried somewhere. Doopa-doopa-doo. Terry Knee to the Groin. Great roller derby name. John passed away from drinking too much vodka, if I remember correctly. I can't remember. Dupe, I take full responsibility for everyone's bad behavior. How many things do you have buried, Star Mountain? August is one of the rare times I've boofed. I greened out and had the spins, smoked strong Mary Jane, made it way worse, and just laid in the shower for 3 hours. That doesn't sound too bad. I'll never forget the time that Thaddeus J. Lupton III drank way too much at a party, and he puked for a good 6 hours. And he was out of it really bad while he was puking too. So we put him in the basement. We were upstairs, and all we could hear was him down there going constantly. And it was around Halloween. So we'd be talking, and all of a sudden, I would be like, the thrilling, chilling sounds of the haunted house. And we cleaned him up as best we could. The assassin, my best friend, may he rest in peace, drove Thaddeus. No, it was the assassin followed me while I drove Thaddeus to his parents' house. This is like 3 or 4 in the morning. Probably 3. We parked the car in front of his house, locked all the doors with him in the car. And then the assassin took me back to his house. Pretty sure his parents found him the next morning. Let's see here. Aku says, not a bad product. Just make sure you're thorough with the prep. Not much prep. Just gotta clean the headlights real well. And then you get the acid part of it that takes it off, and then you put the sealant on. The Roman Vomitorium. And if that doesn't work, I'm just going to take it to my body shop guys who did it last time. But I figure I'd just kind of like to do it, see what it's like. Terry knee and beg. I wish Terry would pick his own. I think Terry's a pretty inventive guy. If he picked his own roller derby name, I think that'd be pretty awesome. Doopa-doopa-doo, all my stuff is retrievable. Would only take a van for me to move out of here. My significant other and her mom would need several tractor trailers, and I'm so ready to go. Yeah, get out of there, man. Get out of there. You cleaned him up as best we could. Well, you know. No stems, no seeds. That we don't need. That's right. The Wolf says, should we remember Marge Schott for being found passed out with poop, pee, and chunks present? No, because you should just blame it on Shotzi. Oh, Shotzi, she's such a scamp. Marge Schott owned the Cincinnati Reds. And she had this big dog. It might have been a St. Bernard, but it was a relatively large dog. She'd let it go just crap out on the field. And it was Riverfront Stadium at the time. It's an AstroTurf field. Players would be sliding in the outfield with just crap all over. Crap. By the way, the Elon Musk Trump interview is being heavily censored. No comments allowed on limited platforms, and Elon is still rambling. Well, is it being censored on Twitter? Or do you have to pay $45 and become verified or whatever he wants you to do? Actually, we were getting some good viewership from Twitter. But I'm not paying $45 a month to be on Twitter. I'm just not doing it. Probably those people didn't chat. They didn't member super chat. No, just a bunch of strap hangers. I forget. I used to know an old guy. I forget who it was. It was one of my relatives. And he, from the old World War II days, would refer to anybody that arrived at an event late or unprepared as a strap hanger. Like they were hanging from the straps of the plane because they just got there or whatever. These strap hangers. I forget who it was. Terry Nee's Rolling Terror. I'll buy that. I'll buy that. Jillian Zeezer says hipster dog walkers ruin one of the old baseball fields around here with their dog poop. Everywhere on YouTube. I'm not on X or Twitter, says Star Mountain. Big John notified me of the event. 3 weeks later, the other NFL owners demanded she step down as Bengals owner. Did she own the Bengals? I didn't know she owned the Bengals. Thought it was just... because I thought the Brown family owned the Bengals. And then I thought she was just the Reds. But she was so not reading the room. I mean, she would say like real positive stuff about Hitler. And when they would bring it up to her, she's like, you're just bringing up all the bad stuff about him. It's like, what? All right. You know, trains ran on time. Yes, she did. All right. You say so. I don't really want to invest a lot of my intellectual capital in the history of the Cincinnati Bengals. Normally it's a sand from 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 grit wet sand. Use soapy water, recommend done. Then apply product or above. I will follow the manufacturer's instructions to the letter. The one that I have wants you to sand when you're finished. So, pretty sure that's what I'm going to do. But I don't know. I mean, if I don't like the way it looks, I'll just take it over to my friend Alex and I'll say, you know what you guys did to my headlights last time? Do it to those. They'll do it. It'll look great. I just thought I'd try something. Hugh says, I started a Twitter account 10 years ago, never posted or looked at it. I decided right after I'm too old to participate in any more social media. You're as young as you feel. Doopadoopadoo says, I get it. My husband had hoarder tendencies. I've been with him 27 years. You're taking care of your significant other and her mother. Keep the media wall. Get rid of everything else. Oh, man. I used to have a lot of stuff, and then 6 or 7 years ago, I got rid of about 3/4 of the things that I own. And that's from memorabilia to you name it. Just, so I don't need this. There were certain things. I have an uncle that's kind of our family historian. Keeps all of our artifacts and things. I mentioned to him I was about to throw a bunch of stuff away. He goes, no, I want it. Because I said, I wrote all these scripts for TV commercials, did all this, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to throw it all away. No, we want that. All right, have it. You have it. Anybody here going to DabbleCon too? Anybody heading on out to the DabbleCon too? Okay then. I'm trying to figure out what tomorrow's show is going to be about. I hope you've enjoyed today's program on vomit. Karen Garvey says, Tom, is your uncle still alive? Well, yes, he is. Yes, he is. And all my stuff, 4 big boxes of it, is sealed in like quadruple wrapped Viz Queen in a barn in Peru, Indiana. You should do a show about how to cut the grass. Yeah, my dad on as a special guest. Kim Warfield says, I watched the horrific Vampire Happening and The Naked Witch last night. I had a seriously good time noticing all the terrible acting and script. Hey, Wolf, you know what I've been watching? There's these YouTube videos called Grindhouse movie trailers from the 60s and 70s. And there's several volumes of them. And I think they go up into the 80s and the 90s, but it's nothing but trailers. And some of them are 3 hours long. Some of them are an hour and a half, whatever. Oh, my God. Just some of the most ridiculous, pervish things you'd ever want to see. The Doc Torn says, the bad influences Wolf had on you when you all was younger. The Wolf was not the kind of person that was going to unduly influence somebody to do anything. He was going to do his thing, and that's it. He wasn't somebody that was going to persuade you to do something that you didn't want to do, at least not so you'd know it. And then I was getting into enough of my own bad influencing. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. Have a good one, Randy. Terry Nee says, I'm only going if Ray DeVito is there. Well, I heard that Ray DeVito is no longer welcome as he is one of Kevin's cucks, but I don't know if that's true or not. We both watched those years ago, says Wolf. Yeah, I used to have, from Something Weird Video, tons of those on VHS. Yes, Trenton Tarantino capitalized on those Grindhouse movies, says Star Mountain. Well, yes, but these are just trailers from back then. I do like the Grindhouse he did with Rodriguez, though. I like both movies. Bad Influence was a good movie. It really was. Star Mountain says XZCVBNM accent question mark, and then he says, oh, he's wiping off his keyboard. What did you do on your keyboard that caused it to require wiping up? I mean, I know it's a good show and I'm a handsome man, but anyway, I'm a clean freak and we were doing a full gut renovation living in the attic studio since January. It's supposed to be done in December. I hope it changes. Oh my God. Oh my God, Karen Garvey. Good Lord. Oh my goodness, only 2.5 minutes left. Is there anything else on tonight? Is there anything I should be aware of? That was a really great blunder years today. God, that new documentary is man, oh man, that's a fine piece of work. Fine piece of work. I was struggling with what to do for today's program, to be honest with you, till about 3:30 this afternoon, and I went, vomit, of course. Star Mountain says, no, spilled a little mixer. Is that what we're calling it now? All right, Doctor, I know a guy in New Orleans who's good with drywall. A house in New Orleans. There goes rising. And it been the ruin of many a poor boy. I see here. I mean, BYB, if you're into a Proud Boy running a stream, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I have a hard time. The only thing is redeeming about that show is Lemme. And Granny when he's on it. I guess maybe he's still in rehab now. I hope that works out for him. It seems to me like they would have to send you to HAB before they sent you to rehab. Are the phone lines still open? Doctor, no, they're not. I turned them on. I turned them off just a second ago. I could have kept them open for a long. I mean, I don't know. Those damn phone lines. Look at it. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that's a, you know. I think I'm going to leave that up while I say goodbye. Oh, I can't. I got to play the video. My farewell photo. Lemmy and Granny, they're on tonight. Maybe I'll watch it. I don't know. I hate Quad. Quadfather is an amalgam of ineptitude and he's just a horrible person. That's he's another one of these guys that thinks he's 9,000 times smarter than he really is, and I don't know what else to say. He's just a tool. That's all. Julian Julian Caesar says that looks like your face in the background too of the other pic. Let's see here. A little bit. Maybe it is. To ask SG. SG, you really outdid yourself with this new AI pic. Yeah, it's pretty good. Like Jim Carrey. Yes. Well, kids, that old clock on the wall says it's just about time for us to check on out of here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Like the Reverend Al Green says, it's time for me to get up on out of here. Yeah, hateful. It's a good word for it. Look, I understand if you're not a happy person, if something like that happens to you. Kind of can't blame anybody else, right? But still, I can understand how that would create an insurmountable tidal wave of bitterness and, why me? And this isn't fair. But just that is a person that wants to do nothing but cause human misery. So this was an interesting and funny show. Well, good. Hey, man, if you can't get it across the plate with vomit, you just shouldn't be doing a show. Anyway, I got to get going. I think the only thing left to say is, till next time, we will see you next time.